Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Alexis and this is the Goddess of Daydreams Tarot. Today I'm going to be doing sort of a free ball, sort of like anything comes in kind of reading. I just got a new deck, oracle deck. It's called the Wild Woman Oracle. I would definitely recommend getting this deck if you are either like starting or you're just like novice into the tarot world. It's a very wonderful deck. So I'm going to be working with that today, and depending on the messages that come out, we'll just take it from there and see what goes. So if this reading, I don't know, you just clicked on it and feel like, let me take a peek at this, then perhaps this reading is for you. My readings are timeless. They generally apply to anyone who clicks on it. And yeah, so let's see what we've got here. We're like in sort of that week between Christmas and New Year, so everything feels irrelevant. Like, I kind of like this joke now that people are embracing, like, between this time period, like, time doesn't exist. Like, oh, yes, time doesn't exist in general, but I'm glad you're at least applying it to this week. Let's see what we got here. I hope everyone got wonderful gifts or a wonderful good time this holiday season. Alright, I'm going to break you up if I don't get something out immediately. Now this is a new deck. Alright, energies feel good. Let's see what we got for the collective. Alright. We have Weaver of the Web of Life. Cooperation. It's so hard to like see, but it's a big ass spider there in the web. It's very beautiful. This kind of reminds me in the Moonlight Oracle deck, the Cosmic Mother. So it looks like right now you guys could be, well, since you are likely away for the holidays and spending time with family, a lot of you guys could be connecting to your ancestral roots. If you are spending time with family members that are from a distance, I do see some of you guys are asking questions about, how it was back in the day, certain spiritual practices that were done, certain beliefs that were around at that time. I see you asking a lot of older family members that are around a lot of this information. All right, so the message for this card. Wake up to the wisdom of the ancestors who taught of humanity's great strength and creativity, yet simultaneously warned of its fragility and ultimate mortality. Our thoughts and creative energy have so often been used to spin webs of greed and competition. But Grandmother Spider reminds us that we also have the power to spin webs of generosity and cooperation. You have the power, the responsibility, even to honor the primordial feminine sustaining force within yourself, planet Earth, and the universe. This is definitely a big energy card. What we say, what we do, we create. And just like in the messages right now, we have been, I feel mainly for this country in the US, we have been conditioned that the type of webs that we have to spin in a certain way. We have to give out like a certain amount of thread, what's it called? Thread count of the silk that is spun out. We can only, like, it's the magic that we have within this country has been limited. The web that we want to build, because the sense I'm getting here is many of us want to create a better life for ourselves, for others, and for the future to come. But we are feeling extremely limited because of the environments that we are around and the conditioning that we ourselves are trying to break out of, while the social standards or certain people try to keep implying those things that we're trying to break out. So it is a bit of a struggle. However, this is not like all doom and gloom. We the same power that we have to destroy, we also have to create. And with the spider, like the spider's gonna see the web got destroyed, and it's gonna be like, oh well, I'm gonna die. Might as well sit here and let nature take me. No, the spider's gonna be like, oh well, at least I know not to build that web in that area because it's gonna get destroyed. So I'm going to move on to a better area, better environment, or be surrounded by better energies where I know I'm going to grow and create and expand. And for some of us, or a lot of us, that is, I'm kind of seeing the energy that we're wanting to go into 2023. Like we want to branch out and help others. However, we need to learn, like before we could go into anyone else's web or start telling anyone how to spin their own web, we have to spin our web first. And our web, we cannot take care of everybody else's web. You have to take care of your web, and then through there, you see it's sort of like you're being the example of the community. For some of you, you could be likely starting some type of community program within the next year, or starting to build your own community online. I do also see this quite big for the spiritual and esoteric world. I do see a lot of us are going to be branching out a lot more and connecting, which is definitely needed. So let's see what else we got here. I'm using the Clo cards. And it's important that we really study and look into history, because right now we're actually at a pivotal point where that there are many truths that are being discovered, and at the same time that they're being discovered, they're being hidden, so that a certain timeline, a certain storyline keeps going, even though too many people are questioning, like the textbooks, like definitely here in America. Like we know that slaves did not come willingly to America. They were stolen from the land in Africa and the Caribbean and Latin America. Like, it's kind of like messed up how some of that is just glossed over. I'm like, oh yeah, those were bad times, but it is what it is. No, it is not what it is. Like, we need to learn that history so we don't repeat it again. Let me get one more. Okay, this one wanted to come out. All right. Oh boy, you've been making your rounds lately. So I have the Lock, followed by the Fight. This Fight card has been definitely making a couple of appearances for the collective these days. So definitely I'm getting you want to unlock a lot of energies within you. A lot of energies that are going to help you be combative and fight against whatever forces that again are messing up the webs, are messing up the streams of life, or messing up the quality of life. Unlocking this, like, I don't see this Fight card as wanting to fight, people in general. I'm seeing this more as you're asking, like, your ancestors, or you're asking old family members, like, how they overcame. Like, I'm kind of getting here, like, in the 60s, like, how, like, in the 60s and 70s specifically, for those people, for those of your family member that have been around that time, a lot of you guys could be asking, like, what type of activism did you do with your community to gain the recognition or attention that you guys deserve? Like, what were the elements working at that time that help you guys rise above and get access to what you needed? So a lot of you guys are like, you're ready to put in the fight, you're ready to put in the work and defend and win the things that you are deserving of: a good quality of life, for others to live well, for people to grow and prosper, for everyone to spin their own web. But with this lock card, there is a bit of like, it's I won't say it's like a blockage, but it is an obstacle, because with the 60s and 70s, I kind of felt like maybe in my way it was a bit easier to sort of like gather people for a cause. And in today's age, I think it's even more easier to gather people for a cause. But the difference is social media. And we know that right now in social media, if you do or say certain things, you're going to call certain attention that is unwanted. And, it's just going to basically muck up the original idea of what you want to do. So it's kind of like you're trying to figure out how to maneuver through all of these restrictions and still be in your power and call others to raise to go in their power. And that's, I guess, what I see with this grandmother weaver of the web life. Like, the past is the key, because in the past, whenever energies have been unfair, more classes were getting getting more power than others, like, there has always been a fight, there has always been a strike, there has always been protests, there has always been a way to fight against the injustice that is happening. There is a way to start bringing people together. But right now, we're like, how do we start, taking it's like, basically in my head, I'm saying like everyone's a spider and everyone's like webs has been demolished, but there's still bits and pieces that are usable. So we're all trying to figure out how to get all these bits and pieces together again in a different way that will not be broken down again. It's basically like we're trying to rebuild society on top of society trying to rebuild, a new society. If that, it's like, okay, that kind of make weird sense. It's like one group of people wanting to build society from, I guess, where we are right now, like after the pandemic. And then there's like, I'm picking up another group of people that are also trying to build like society after the pandemic, but without society. So it's kind of like, I want to make a perfect world without the world. And some of us are like, well, we're trying to take what we have and create a new again. And let me get one more. I hope you guys are enjoying these messages. Please like, share, and subscribe. I would deeply appreciate it. It will give tremendous support to my channel. And thank you to all the subscribers and viewers. You are deeply appreciated, and I am grateful and thankful for your views and for your watches. It gives tremendous support to me. All right. So we have the Page of Cups, followed by the Eight of Pentacles, and then the King of Cups. So one answer that I'm getting, that maybe also a lot of you are getting through older family members, is with the cooperation of others. It's definitely going to have to be an emotional maturity. I believe I have been saying this for like quite a bit for the past 2 or 3 readings, but I do see, as we're going into the new year, we are starting to sort of get a hold of this emotional power within ourselves and starting to ground it and balance it. Because I have the Page of Cups and then the King of Cups here. And I actually like that these two are out here together, because it's like with the Page of Cups, it's like realizing, like, oh my goodness, like I forgot I have this brilliant, talented energy that brings me joy and happiness, and I can share it with. And then the King of Cups is like, I know how to share emotionally without draining my energy. I know how to put boundaries to protect myself and to protect others. So it's like it's a leveling up. It's a understanding. It's a balancing. And with this Eight of Pentacles here, I like because uh, a lot of people are putting in the emotional work towards themselves. We will call it shadow work, but either way, we are starting to realize certain emotions or actions or behaviors that we have been doing for the past couple of years, or maybe weeks or months. Um, it is like not deliberating, debilitating. Um, so you know, slow progress is better than progress. And with the Eight of Pentacles, it's definitely been progress for a while for you guys to work yourselves up from this page to the King. But you are getting there. If some of you guys that are there, you're going to experience a new level. For some of you that are getting there, you're going to get there. Also, when I get with this King of Cups and this Fight card together, you are going to have the emotional maturity to know how to act, like, okay, like how to win an argument, basically. Like, you're going to be able to study the sort of okay, like for some of us, like I would say definitely like in my house, we're going to start able to pick up, people's patterns through the body movements, the way people speak, the way people act and conduct themselves. A lot of us are going to be able to read up on those energies, on how people sort of conduct themselves. Like, before I get angry and say something, I'm going to observe you, and I'm going to observe how you're acting, how you're behaving, what triggers you, what doesn't trigger you. And it's kind of like, I don't think, personally, I don't think this is messed up to say, but it's like you are understanding the enemy's language. You're understanding the opposition's sort of tactics and actions and behaviors, and you're going to use that to your advantage when you are going to come in and and fight for what you want. uh and I'm kind of seeing this as sort of like even more as a collective. Like, for some of you, you guys could be like, I want you to take a look at this person, see how they act or behave when they're around me or they're around certain people. And certain people are going to realize, like, oh yeah, their actions and behaviors is very different than what they say in front of me. Like, a lot of people are basically going to see the energy of others, and they're going to make certain decisions or judgments based on what they see. Now, I'm not saying don't judge a book by its cover, but there are some things that people do or say that do give themselves away. Like, sometimes you could be saying a sentence very normally, and someone will pick that up as like, well, okay, you may saying that normally, but you sound very condescending. Like, you got to be very mindful with your words, because people will pick up on the words and will use them against you. And all is fair in love and war. Well, okay, let's not have war, but I'm just going to say, like, oh, you think you got tricks? I got tricks too. Using After Tarot for clarifications. Let me go for King of Cups. Oh, all right. I got the Page of Cups again for the King of Cups. But here, this is like, this is somebody, I guess what I was kind of like talking about earlier, that people are going to be sort of watching the actions and behaviors of others. They're going to be starting to pay attention to what they say and what they do. And they're going to catch them slipping. like, oops, like my magic or like my power that I was using above others is gone because this emotionally like mature and powerful person was able to pick up on my patterns and habits. So you guys are gaining that insight. But when you gain that insight, beware that it does come with a certain power. With great power comes with great responsibility. Is that how it says? Or, yeah, sure. So I'm going to pull another oracle deck. Oh, all right. Oh, I actually was looking at this earlier. Artemis, she of the wild, mercy. I'm just going to pull one little message from there. Artemis acknowledges that you may be experiencing cruelty or negativity at the hands of another, and she takes mercy on your demoralized heart. In time, know that, like Artemis, you have the ability to use this hurtful experience in order to develop greater mercy, empathy, and understanding for both yourself and others. Ooh, this sounds like somebody wanting to say something very hurtful. Like I see a sharp tongue here, but I see you holding back. And if you hold back on this, this is actually going to make you powerful because you know what's it's messed up. It's like, so you can't handle what you dish. Like you're gonna say all this, messed up stuff about me, making lies and lies about me, and I cannot do the same to you. No, you can't. I'm getting here like spirit acknowledges that you want to hurt feelings. You have the right to hurt feelings. You deserve to hurt the feelings of those who hurt your feelings, but you don't. Instead, what you're doing is you're taking that as a learning experience. You now know that after certain you now understand why certain people have crossed certain boundaries towards you, and you out of all people whoever deserves mercy, you deserve mercy. Give that mercy to yourself because you are already in a lot of pain or in a lot of turmoil, and you putting out that same turmoil and energy out onto others, you get the same thing back. It would just be a vicious cycle. So, in a way, I see you guys are learning to hold your tongue back, but you're also learning to speak when it's the right time. Like you're not going to be just like a pushover. You're going to make sure like, I have something to say, but I'm just going to keep myself in the distance and watch and see what's going to happen. And then whatever confirmation happens, then I'm going to say what I'm going to say. Like you're going to be very calculative with your words and how you express yourself. Going to get one final message from the clone. Oh, okay. Two then. All right. We have the freeze. And then the wood. Take time to cleanse your house, cleanse your energy, Palo Santo yourself, sage your area, sage after people leave from holiday get-togethers. With this freeze, I'm actually kind of picking up for some of you, you might want to freeze certain social media accounts for like a week or two. If some of you are doing a digital detox, in the beginning of the year, that will definitely be recommended. It will be a nice way to sort of like get your energy kind of flowing in for the beginning of the year. Also, with this wood, uh, pay attention to some of your plants in your house. I'm kind of getting that if you feel that certain plants start to die because of certain energies are around your house, The plants are going to be confirmation that this person is toxic, and you might want to start distancing yourself from them, because if somebody is truly toxic, and they're not aware of their energy, that energy does emit out and it does affect other energies. And one thing I have seen, like if certain energies are in a house, after a while or after a couple of days, plants do kind of tend to either like wither or like get like all spotted or something. So I'm getting here, like also with the freeze and this fish, I'm getting, if your pets are also acting a certain way around certain people now, you might want to pay attention to that person, because it seems like they might, have some type of different intention being in your home. Basically, with these two cards in the future, or we're going into the new year, be mindful who you let into your house, because there are some people that are not there to share the hearth and the hope and the happiness that you want to give. And with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Please like, share, and subscribe. I would deeply appreciate it. Definitely, you guys are gaining and maintaining back a lot of emotional strength and energy. You guys are also starting to go out and try to find answers and ways to sort of start correcting and rebuilding society, as a whole, as it should be. We're realizing there's too many divisions going on, too many people are hurting. We need to, work through the hurt, put our differences to the side, and we're starting to work together. Our ancestors have done this before. We can do this again. We have the power within us to do it again. So, with that said, again, please like, share, and subscribe. If this reading has resonated, please give it a like. If this reading might be for someone else, definitely share. And if you haven't been enjoying my content lately, please subscribe. I would deeply appreciate it. So be mindful of the energy in your house. Be mindful of the energy that you speak and that you let out, and continue finding the answers and ways through the past, and through our ancestors and through family members, or even people of the neighborhood who have been through these tough situations. They will help spark an answer out of you. The answers are there. And with that said, stay safe and have a good day.